welcome to Cultivating Better Future, the Orang Asli story, where we're reciting the narrative on social issues. My name is Atika.
I'm Mary.
I'm Manisa.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Mannu. And for this podcast, we question the norm, confront really tough topics, and shine a light on the voices that need to be heard.
Our mission is to educate, create awareness, and most importantly, empower, especially for young Malaysians who want to understand the real issues shaping our world.
And today's episode is rather close to home. We'll be talking about the Orang Asli, Malaysia's indigenous communities. The term means original people or first people in Malay. These are the earlier known inhabitants of the peninsula long before the arrival of Malays and other ethnic groups. There are about 18 different subgroups of Orang Asli, usually classified into three main groups based on their languages and cultural practices. Although the Orang Asli make up less than 1% of the Malaysian population, they have rich and diverse cultures, language, and spiritual beliefs. Historically, they have faced issues like land encroachment, poverty, limited access to education and healthcare, as well as pressure to assimilate into mainstream society.
But among those challenges, right, I feel like there's incredible stories of progress. So this story comes from an agriculture farm in Bantong, Pahang, and the company is called Good Growers. And basically what they do is they give career opportunities to the Orang Asli.
And this is not just about employment, it's mainly about empowerment. Giving people the tools, education, knowledge, and skills to thrive is while respecting their cultural identity and way of life.
And to give a little bit more understanding about this unique initiative, we have spoke to the founder of Good Growers and we traveled to Bentong to immerse ourselves in their works. And they have also shared to us a very eye-opening insight of how the company have made a difference on the ground. And here's a quick look of our conversation with them.
Good Growers is about empowering the Orang Asli. Our mission is to improve the livelihood of the Orang Asli through various economic opportunities. We started in 2022 May on our 10 acres farmland, which is just 5 minutes away from the nearest Orang Asli village. So all our workers are Orang Asli. And then during the first quarter of 2023, we collaborated with Vocational Training Opportunity Center, which stands for VTOC, and also YWCA, which stands for Young Women Christian Association. And we go into 5 different Orang Asli villages. And out of this entrepreneurship program, or which in short we call EP program, 5 community projects were birthed, and each community received a grant up to 20,000 ringgit. So for example, in Bentong, right here in this farm, we started with the Bentong ginger enzyme products. And in Damansara Perdana, we discussed with the Orang Asli participants, and they say they want to do quail farming. And in Post Betau, Orang Asli village, we collaborated with them to plant napier grass for animal feed. And in Sungai Jor, we also did Sambal Petai project. And in Tasik Temenggo, we taught them how to make tapioca chips.
So what I'm hearing here is basically Good Growers basically works directly with the leaders or with the community members actually.
Yes, we work directly with the leaders because we always seek permission with the Tok Batin of each Orang Asli village before we do anything in that village. And it's also very crucial to work together with the Orang Asli participants because we need to tailor-make the empowerment project according to their setup. Yes.
And has Good Growers actually partnered with any other organizations in the past?
Yes, we have the opportunity to partner with YWCA, as I mentioned, and VTOC, and also we applied for a grant from APBGM SDG, all parliament under the government. Yeah. Then we also collaborated with Soroctomis and Heineken on aquaponics project, doing rock melon, tilapia fish, and also vermicomposting. We also have received a grant, matching grant from Jabatan Pertanian to do vertical farming. Okay, and the most recent one is we collaborated with ERM, which stands for Environmental Resource Management Foundation, to do quail farming project.
There's a lot of collaborations. Yeah. So basically, how does Good Growers provide self-sufficiency and empowerment with the Orang Asli communities?
We organize empowerment projects for the Orang Asli villagers and develop products together with them. Okay. We also we go into the village and bring the Orang Asli girls to study in Vocational Training Opportunity Center (VTOC) in 5 different courses: culinary and baking, fashion design, childcare education, early childhood education, and beauty care and hair care.
Wow. But can they use these other skills like outside?
Yeah, so after they graduate from this 1-year course, fully sponsored room and also the course fees, VTOC actually help them to look for a job, so they can either work in KL or back in their own kampong.
Wow, that's good to hear. So, final question. Are there any projects that has helped Orang Asli communities achieve their long-term sustainability?
Okay. Over here in Bentong, we engage in a long-term development effort with the Orang Asli community by conducting training and doing various projects, as you can see just now, through aquaponics farming, chicken farming, duck farming, and also various fruits, durian, pineapple, banana, papaya. So we have a variety of things that for them to learn from.
Yeah, good.
Are there any upcoming initiatives or projects that we can look forward to?
Yes, there is a quail project coming up, and we are actually partnering with ERM. We will actually start the project with one family. Once we have completed this pilot project successfully, we will replicate it to other families.
In terms of call to action to the public, how would you want to convey your message on the public and how they can help with the Orang Asli community moving forward?
Okay, so far we have reached 5 Orang Asli communities. We hope to be able to reach more Orang Asli villages. So we are open to more fundings. So it would be good if you can connect us to potential funders, so we can go into the villages and conduct empowerment projects and programs for them. Yeah.
And for you?
Yeah, we certainly need sponsors. Yeah, we do want to work together with like-minded corporate bodies who believe in environmental and social initiatives. So we actually can do more, but we are always fall short of funds, because even though the projects on paper it looks very good or it looks very promising, but we need initial startup outlays. Yeah, so we really hope to have a few more sponsors to join us, so that we can do more for the society at large.
What message would you like to convey to those that are watching the podcast?
Do spread the word about our work and what we do to your friends and colleagues and whoever that would like to be part of our initiative to empower the Orang Asli. And we also sell our products on online platforms, so you can support by purchasing Orang Asli products through our Facebook, Instagram, and also online platforms like Starfruit and Supply Bunny.
Yeah, I think she has put it very well. Yeah, we buying pesticide-free products, yeah, grown by the Orang Asli. It will be a lot of help for them, yeah. So remember that we not only want to ensure quality food, but we actually helping the Orang Asli community. The more that you buy, the more that means that the more people you are helping.
Wow, that was a really meaningful exchange. What really stood out to me was the way Orang Asli was treated when in Gupros, like when working with Gupros, because they are more like equal partners with them. So it's not just like a charity.
Exactly. I think it's just not about planting crops, it's about the opportunities, the hope, and the self-sufficiency with them. So, and by doing so, I think they're also helping to preserve traditions while also building a bridge towards a modern economy.
Right, it's also a reminder how development and cultural respect go hand in hand. Too often, indigenous communities are either sidelined or forced to assimilate. But this is an example of inclusivity done right.
I think we all should take a step back and think, why don't we hear about this story more often? And why is the indigenous empowerment rarely in the spotlight, especially in Malaysian media?
I think you got a good point there, Atika. Personally, I think it's because it's just not sensational, and there are still gaps in the media representations, especially in Malaysia. And that's exactly why platforms like this, like us, and this podcast matters, because we have the responsibility to amplify these success stories and not just talk about them.
I think there's something to be said about sustainable solutions, because I feel like handouts might be helpful in the short terms, but if you're speaking in the long terms, I think it can comes from creating a space for Orang Asli to grow on their own terms.
Right, because we can see that the farming model good growers use is also sustainable, not just environmentally, but economically and socially. Like, imagine if more companies took this kind of approach.
Yeah, I agree. Because as we can see, many Orang Aslis, they still struggle to access stable, meaningful employment.
Yeah, I agree with what Megan has said. So I think a lot of them live in rural or forested areas and where job options are low. So I think even though when they try to get jobs in the towns and cities, I think they'll get discrimination, lower pay, or even exploitation around the companies that want to hire them or not.
And to add on to your point, there's also an issue about documentations, because some Orang Asli, they don't have a proper identification card, and because of this, it's made it difficult for them to find a formal job, and especially when they want to receive a government aid.
There's also the issue of cultural barriers, because as we know, many Orang Asli, they practice traditional ways of living, and modern job structures don't respect or accommodate to them. So they're often forced to choose between survival and their identity.
And that's why inclusive employment models are so powerful, as well as important, because it's not just about giving someone a paycheck, it's about making sure that they don't have to lose who they are in the process.
Yeah, Megan raised a really good point there. So when Orang Asli people are included in the decision-making process, are trained with relevant skills, and respected for their knowledge, it leads to real and long-lasting empowerment.
Right, I think it's just not about the Orang Asli. I think this model can be applied to marginalized communities such as the urban poor, the refugees, and even the single mothers. So I think this is just about creating meaningful access to dignity and their opportunities also.
Thank you for the point, Mary. That was a really good one. So, guys, what have we learned today? That empowerment is something you just give. It is something that you create space for. And Blue Growers is doing exactly that with the Orang Asli community.
I think the takeaway that it had on us, hopefully to the people who listening to this podcast, is that a real change happens when we challenge the narrative, or when we support the local initiative, or when we care enough to learn about them.
Yeah, I agree with Atika. So, if you're wondering what you can do, you can always start small. So, you can start by sharing this podcast, supporting the local indigenous communities. You can also educate yourself and others around you, because awareness is the first step towards action.
Thank you for tuning in to Cultivating a Better Future, the Orang Asli story. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and YouTube for more information on good growers and how you can get involved.
So until next time,
Stay curious.
Stay compassionate.
Keep resetting the narrative.
And finally, keep slaying.
Bye.